Okay, there's a guy in there reading a book. Must be a educated bum or something, I don't know. Educated homeless. And how you doing?
Not bad, thanks. How are you?
Fine. Did you know there's a library down the street?
Yeah?
You should go there, no?
Well, I got deported from the States illegally, so,
Illegally?
yeah, it was criminal. What happened was,
When did that happen?
well, my actual illegal deportation was effectuated in 2003. However, the original jurisdiction case started in 1998, and that's what it was all about. What happened was I had standing in a case. It's not about me. When the Congress or your Parliament passes a law that's unconstitutional or against your charter, what has to happen is somebody has to be harmed by the law. We can write in the Georgetown Law Review that it's wrong. We can analyze it on CNN and talk with talking heads. But in order to change the law, somebody who's harmed by the law has standing, and that legal standing gives them the right to move forward in the court. So these laws, the victims' rights laws, are not laws that actually create a right. What they do is they take away tried, true, and tested rights. Since the people that pass them know they're unconstitutional, the Mormons, which are about to take over the White House with Mitt Romney, they know that what they did was unconstitutional.
So where are you, hold it, where are you born?
I was born in Canada, but
Where?
it's not, in Ontario, Scarborough, Ontario.
And so where do you live down the States?
Well, I was illegally deported technically from Massachusetts, but I lived
Where
in
in
Utah.
Massachusetts?
Well, I was in Boston, but
Boston?
I was actually in Somerville.
Somerville. I live in Waltham for about a year and a half. You know what Waltham is?
I was moved 20 times, so I know where everything is.
I was at the French Club in Waltham. Okay.
Talking about being locked up, they moved me over 20 times. In fact, over a 3-day period, they moved me from Bristol County to Franklin County, from Franklin County back to Bristol County, back to Franklin County in 3 days just to keep me from going to court.
So which border did you arrive to come
Well,
here?
they basically, I was supposed to go to court. If I tell you the whole story...
I know, we don't have that. We don't have that long.
You don't have that
that's
much
why
time.
that's why I'm cutting you off, because the battery is a little bit
Okay.
down. So which border did they drop you?
Well, I was supposed to go to court. Instead, they rounded me
Which
up.
court? Massachusetts?
Well, at that point, immigration.
Immigration?
So it would have been... At that point, I had standing in a bunch of courts. In order to get rid of me...
Yeah.
In the ultimate argue with the arguee instead of the argument, instead of having the case heard, they decided to illegally deport me. That gave me standing in a new case, the IR Act that Bill Clinton didn't veto.
So where's that? St. Stephen?
Okay.
They dropped you off in St. Stephen?
No, they dropped me off in Ontario, but they took me 12 hours in a paddy wagon, in shackles and chains, in prison clothes, from Massachusetts to the Canadian border and literally dumped me on the ground. The Canadians beat me up. I was enthralled for 52 days. I wasn't Canadian, so I didn't get a lawyer, which is fine with me. I wish they'd be consistent about that. And supposedly as an overstay, but what overstay doesn't have his watch, his wallet, his
Do you
tools?
believe in Star Trek?
I believe in God.
That's good. That's a good
believe
part.
in the
See?
Constitution of the United States of America.
So they didn't beam you up from Ontario to the Royal Bank here in Fredericton. How did you get here?
Well, I spent 8 months in Ontario trying to get the case heard. I won't go into all the details because you don't have time.
Yeah.
When that wasn't going to happen, I met somebody named Claude McCura. He invented a new way to extract Paxlotaxel from the Canadian yew tree. Because Brian Mulrooney was a douchebag like all these guys are.
Holy Jesus, we're going way back.
Well, he created reverse onus. Normally when a big company is established and they create a patent on something, they have lawyers to protect themselves. If somebody comes along and infringes on their patent, the burden is on
You
them
have
to prove it.
ADHD?
Huh?
You have ADHD? Attention deficit hyperactivity?
No, it's just I got to explain a whole bunch
I
of
know,
stuff
you got
and
so-
I never
you-
get to finish.
You never
So
get to
Claude
finish.
McCura did this, and he had to go all the way to the Supreme Court to prove that he didn't infringe on anybody's patent, and the burden was on him. So for 10 years he couldn't produce anything. He went almost bankrupt. So when I got deported, I needed work, and he was willing to hire somebody that had nothing. So he paid me $8 an hour, but while I was there, I met this genius dude who builds computers from scratch, and he taught me how to do a website and how to do mass emailing, right? So I sent 1,400 emails and 250 13, 14-page faxes about my case. I got a call back or a response slowly but surely from a few Congress members. I sent it to the FBI, the CIA.
Now, how did you end up here in Fredericton?
Okay, so I went to Vancouver, got a computer.
Vancouver?
I know.
You took a wrong turn at
That's because
Albuquerque.
when I was a kid, I worked there, so I knew people there. So I pulled into town, I hooked up with somebody I knew before, did a renovation for him, got a computer, and got responses back from the faxes and emails I sent.
Yeah.
Okay, so because nothing was happening, but I gave it a shot. Okay, well, after so much time went by, I finished the reno, I got no play, so I decided, okay, fine, I'll leave. I'll just leave North America. Because my grandparents are from Ireland, I can become naturalized under the grandfather clause with no monkey business. My mother's side Quinlan, my father's side Kelly. So they can't play like they did in the States. In the States, what they did was illegal. It was wrong. But they can't do that in Ireland. If I get to Ireland and I see the Sinn Féin...
How did you get to Fredericton?
So I decided to
I'm an agitator, just in Northern.
So I started to hitchhike around the eastern seaboard city, handing out a carpentry flyer and an English language and Irish language flyer offering to trade carpentry for Patience, Ireland. A lot of people were ripping me off. I stayed in Newfoundland, St. John's, Newfoundland for 2 years.
Jesus, you went all over the
Well, I found out it wasn't a really big harbor like I read in history books. Big ships can't even get in there. I found that the Irish community, it was like Massachusetts. The Irish Catholics are all poor. It's really the British that run it. So I was aced out there. People were ripping me off. So I left. And I stopped staying in one place on the eastern seaboard and I started traveling around. So I went to Moncton, Fredericton.
What do you think of Moncton?
It was okay until the cops got some dude out to beat me up and...
Beat you up? The cops got dude?
Well, I mean...
I thought we only had fascist cops
The
here.
only way I can prove it is to say this guy's got on probation, he's got a huge record, he's laughing about the fact that the cops caught him and left and go, and then 2 days later he beats me for no reason. So...
Is that right? Okay.
Well, he got somebody else to start a fight with me and then he jumped in later so that way he could have cover. So it was a setup. And if it's a setup, why are the cops, just...
So do you go to St. John?
Well, that day I hitchhiked here.
You hitchhiked here? How long have you been here?
For about a month.
A month? How come I haven't seen you around?
A little less than a month.
And where have you been staying? Went in shelter?
No. I don't have ID and I don't like staying in shelter.
Oh, you're the guy that I see. Did the cops talk to you this afternoon at a mall that you had no ID?
No.
No, okay.
They did talk to me here yesterday. But anyways, in St. John, I was sleeping on a park bench, traveling around. I never make trouble. I've talked to the cops a dozen times before then. I've talked to them a dozen times after them. I've had enough drama. If I explained to you everything about the original jurisdiction case and the immigration case and everything that happened.
Yeah, I have ADHD. I can't.
I assure you, you would know that when I say I hate the cops and I hate being here, but there's no way I'm going to tell them that because I know what's going to happen next.
They read the blog.
You'll believe me when I tell you I didn't cause any trouble, okay? I was just a dude sleeping on a bench.
How's the cops treating you here?
They've been awesome.
Awesome?
Unbelievable.
You just ruined this interview.
Well, it's unbelievable, but they haven't harassed me. They've asked me questions. They've talked to me. The guy last night, we had a big debate about Reichstag 911. I told him concrete doesn't turn into dust. I told him that if the impact of collapse is going to turn concrete into dust, how come the corrugated pans aren't flat?
You lost me, but that's okay. But when you see a guy reading a book, that means, he's not drunk, he's not on drugs.
No.
So what's your next step, bottom line? Do you have a website?
I had one, but Yahoo almost went out of business, so the GeoCities...
Yahoo almost went out of business. You mean my Yahoo, my email's almost gone?
They had to restructure, so GeoCities got taken down.
GeoCity, GeoCity,
yeah,
they got taken down.
So I had a site on there, the Genius
You got a blog?
Huh?
You got a blog?
No, I don't.
Facebook?
No, I don't use
What's
Facebook.
your name?
Liam Brent Kelly.
Spell it.
LiamBrentKelly.
How long you plan to stay here?
Well, basically, I'm at the point where people have just, like in St. John where I was, so the cops beat me up on the bench, tried to charge me with disturbing the peace. I was homeless. I was my own lawyer. I started getting evidence proving that what I told the judge when I first went up to court was true. The disappearing balaclava, because they choked me with my balaclava, smashed my head into a stainless steel toilet, threw me into a cinder block wall, almost twisted my arm out of my...
But that's the St. John cops.
They did that in order that I would do something because there was a taser guy I didn't know standing right behind me. When I got the video, I could see all the cops pile out of the next room ready to beat the hell out of me. I wasn't guilty of anything. They wanted to make me guilty of something on video. So I started getting discovery. So after after a while, everything I told the judge that when I first got up there, when I get this video, the diocese let me use their computer for 3 days, and I showed them missing frames. Like when I said I was choked with my balaclava, okay, her hand goes up. Okay, when you're in a strip search, it was all strip and no search.
You know what the problem is? I'll tell you what the problem is. This is the problem they're having here. You are a very educated person. Nice to meet you. You're very educated.
High school dropout, but I'm a
No, you're very, very educated. They don't know what the fuck to do with you. You just keep on doing what you're doing, and I hope, do you need help? You need food, or you go
Jesus
to
won the final victory, so basically...
Jesus won the final victory.
So basically what I figure is that I'm not expected to win, and I don't have to win, but I refuse to say amen. And I couldn't stop, I mean, I should have been able to stop them because the law is the law.
So when you get out of here, when the direction of the wind is, that's where you're gonna go, right?
I got
Got it.
I maced out.
We'll leave it at that. Thank you.
God bless you.